Every little comment, every small setback, if it all gets under your skin, you're giving away your power. The truth is the most unshakable people don't have fewer problems, they've just mastered how they react. Imagine walking through life, unfazed, no more overthinking, no more emotional outbursts, just complete control. In this video, I'll teach you how to train your mind to act as if nothing bothers you, so you stop feeling trapped by your emotions and start owning them instead, because once you master this skill, nothing and no one will ever have control over you again. One, mastering the nothing bothers me mindset. Life is filled with noise, people's opinions, daily frustrations, unexpected setbacks. The world is relentless in its ability to throw distractions, criticisms, and roadblocks in your path. But what if I told you that true strength comes from mastering the art of indifference? Imagine walking through a storm without flinching, without losing your composure. This is what it means to act as if nothing bothers you. The key: learning to detach your emotions from external circumstances. When you allow external events to dictate your mood, you become a puppet to forces beyond your control. But when you train your mind to remain unmoved, you become the master of your destiny. The world respects those who remain calm in chaos, who don't crumble under pressure. When you embody this mindset, you command authority without saying a word. You move through life with power, with presence, with unshakable confidence. Think of the most influential individuals in history. They were not those who reacted impulsively to every slight, every criticism. Instead, they moved with an air of control, as if they knew something the rest of the world did. Not their strength was not in their ability to argue or fight back, but in their ability to remain unaffected. This is the true power of indifference. Consider the philosophy found in self-mastery and success literature. The most powerful lesson is that thought precedes action. What you think, you become. If you constantly react emotionally to the world, you give away your power. But if you cultivate an unwavering mindset, the world bends to your will. Those who achieve great things in life understand this principle: control the mind, and you control your reality. Imagine a scenario where someone insults you in public. The natural response for most is anger, retaliation, or self-defense. But what happens when you simply smile and walk away? You rob the instigator of their power. They expected a reaction, and when they don't get it, they are left unsettled. You, on the other hand, walk away stronger, untouched, undefeated. This is the silent dominance that few understand but all admire. The same applies to failures and setbacks. When faced with rejection or defeat, most people let their emotions take over. They drown in frustration, losing days, weeks, or even years lamenting over what went wrong. But those who understand the power of indifference see failure is nothing more than data, a learning experience, an adjustment, a stepping stone. They do not internalize failure, they observe, adapt, and move forward. How do you cultivate this level of control? It begins with training your mind daily. Practice the habit of pausing before reacting. Ask yourself, does this situation truly affect my long-term goals? Is my reaction necessary, or am I giving away my power? By consistently choosing non-reaction, you build an armor that shields you from the trivialities of life. Another crucial element is visualization. See yourself as someone who moves through life unaffected. Picture a version of yourself who does not flinch at insults, who does not crumble under pressure. When you reinforce this image in your mind, it becomes your reality. The mind is powerful, and what you repeatedly visualize, you become. Let people wonder why you're not rattled. Let them question how you stay composed, because when you show that nothing bothers you, you control the game. You become an enigma, someone people look up to but can never quite figure out, and in that mystery lies your strength. True power is not about domination or aggression, it is about presence, a presence so strong that it doesn't need to prove itself, a presence that commands respect through silence, through an unshakable state of mind. Master this, and you master life. To stay unshaken, think about the strongest people you know. They don't react impulsively, they don't let emotions dictate their actions. They pause, they assess, they respond with intention. This is not because they lack emotions, but Because they have mastered them. Emotional detachment isn't about suppressing feelings, it's about controlling them. Picture this: you're in a heated argument, and the other person is trying to provoke you. Do you react? Do you let their words control your emotions, or do you smile unaffected, knowing their words hold no weight? Unless you give them power. Emotional detachment is about refusing to hand over your peace to external forces. It's about understanding that your inner world is sacred, untouchable. When you adopt this approach, stress decreases, clarity increases, and life's challenges become mere puzzles to solve, not battles to fight. Think of the principle that thoughts shape reality. What you focus on you attract. When you allow external events to dictate your state of mind, you become a slave to circumstances. But when you take control of your thoughts and emotions, you become the architect of your own fate. Consider the story of a man who lost everything. His business collapsed, his investments crumbled, and he was left with nothing. Most would drown in despair. But not him. Instead, he saw the failure as a lesson, not a tragedy. He understood that his mind was his greatest asset, and no external loss could take that away. With this mindset, he rebuilt everything stronger than before. This is the power of detachment. When you stop identifying with failures or setbacks, you free yourself to rise above them. A major reason people fail to achieve their goals is emotional turbulence. They let fear, doubt, and frustration control them. They start with ambition but give up the moment challenges arise. But those who master detachment understand that emotions are just fleeting sensations. They don't allow temporary feelings to derail long-term goals. They persist because they have trained their minds to see obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Training yourself to be emotionally detached does not mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you no longer allow external forces to dictate your internal state. You can experience joy, sadness, and excitement, but you remain in control. Your emotions serve you, not the other way around. To develop this mindset, practice stepping back in emotionally charged situations. The next time someone insults you, pause instead of reacting. Observe your feelings. Ask yourself, does this affect my life in any meaningful way? More often than not, the answer is no. By choosing not to react, you take away their power over you. Detachment also comes from having a clear purpose. When you have a strong vision, petty distractions no longer shake you. Your focus becomes unbreakable because you understand that your energy is too valuable to waste on things that don't serve you. The world belongs to those who master themselves. The more you cultivate emotional control, the more unstoppable you become. While others panic, you remain calm. While others react, you respond, and in doing so you gain an advantage that few ever will. True strength is not about physical dominance or loud displays of power. It's about having an unshakable presence, one that commands respect without demanding it. When you master the art of emotional detachment, you don't just navigate life, you control it. 3. Mindful indifference is a superpower. We're conditioned to believe we must care about everything: people's opinions, their validation, their judgments. Society teaches us that our worth is measured by how much we invest in the thoughts and expectations of others. But true freedom, it comes when you realize that most things simply don't matter. The next time you find yourself overthinking, ask, will this matter in 5 years? If not, let it go. Most of what troubles us, criticism, temporary setbacks, fleeting embarrassments, becomes insignificant with time, yet we allow them to consume our thoughts, dictate our emotions, and control our actions. This is why mastering indifference is the key to regaining your power. Indifference doesn't mean apathy, it means prioritization. It means recognizing that your energy is finite and choosing to invest it in what truly deserves your focus. Not every battle is worth fighting, not every opinion is worth considering. When you stop reacting to every minor inconvenience, you regain control. You shift from being emotionally reactive to being strategically responsive, and that shift, it changes everything. Think of the people you admire most, though they aren't the ones desperately seeking approval, or reacting emotionally to every challenge. They are the ones who stand firm, unshaken by the noise of the world. They know who they are, and because of that, they cannot be easily manipulated or influenced. When you adopt this mindset, something remarkable happens. People start to respect you more, not because you seek their validation, but because they see you as someone who cannot be moved in a world where most are desperate to fit in, to be liked, to conform. The one who stands firm in their own self-worth holds the true power. Consider a scenario where someone criticizes you unfairly. The weak-minded immediately react, defending themselves, over-explaining or retaliating. The strong, however, remain calm. They understand that words only have power if they allow them to. By not reacting, they maintain control not just of the situation but of themselves, and that self-respect, it commands more respect than any outburst ever could. The same principle applies to success. Those who achieve greatness are not those who waste their energy on trivial concerns. They are laser-focused on their goals, refusing to be distracted by petty dramas or external judgments. They operate with clarity, knowing that every moment spent worrying about irrelevant things is a moment stolen from their progress. So how do you cultivate this level of indifference? Start by evaluating your reactions the next time you feel anger, frustration, or anxiety rising over something minor. Pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? More often than not, the answer will be no. Train yourself to let go of what does not serve you. Another powerful practice is setting clear priorities. Define what truly matters in your life, your purpose, your growth, your peace of mind. When you have a strong foundation of self-worth, the opinions and judgments of others lose their grip on you. You become untouchable, not because you don't care about anything, but because you care deeply about the right things. This is the secret that most never realize. True power lies not in seeking approval, but in being unmoved by rejection. It is found in the ability to walk away from what drains you, to rise above petty conflicts, and to remain focused in a world full of distraction. In the end, it is not about caring less, it is about caring wisely. It is about choosing where to direct your energy and refusing to waste it on what does not deserve your attention, because when you master the art of indifference, you don't just survive, you thrive. And in a world where everyone is overly concerned with pleasing others, the one who stands firm in their own self-worth will always rise above the rest, or stop seeking approval. Seeking approval is a trap. It places your happiness in the hands of others, making you dependent on their validation. The reality, no one's opinion of you should outweigh your own. The moment you give someone else the power to define your worth, you lose control over your own life. True confidence isn't given. It's built through self-reliance, through knowing that you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself. Think about the most magnetic individuals you've ever encountered. They don't beg for approval, they don't shrink themselves to fit in. They own who they are, flaws and all, and that's what makes them powerful. They lies in their unwavering sense of self, while others chase validation. They walk their own path unapologetically, and with purpose. The need for approval is rooted in fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of standing alone. But here's the truth, the more you seek approval, the more you surrender your power. You become a prisoner of expectations, bending and twisting yourself to fit into molds designed by others, and in doing so you betray yourself. Freedom comes when you release the need to be liked by everyone. It's an illusion to think that universal approval is even possible. No matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. Some will admire you, others will criticize you, and many won't care at all. So why waste your energy trying to please everyone? Consider the people who change the world, leaders, innovators, creators. They are not concerned with fitting in. They are driven by vision, by purpose, by the fire within them. They face criticism, yet they remain unfazed. Their confidence is built on something far stronger than public opinion. It is built on self-belief, and that is what makes them unstoppable. If you want to break free from the approval trap, start by asking yourself, whose opinion truly matters? More often than not, the loudest voices are from those who do not walk your path, who do not Understand your journey. Their words carry no real weight unless you allow them to. Another crucial step is learning to validate yourself. Acknowledge your own progress, celebrate your wins, big or small. When you start recognizing your own worth, external approval becomes irrelevant. You no longer need applause to feel worthy. You simply know you are. Detaching from validation does not mean becoming arrogant or dismissive. It means standing firm in who you are. It means respecting your own decisions, your own journey, and refusing to let others dictate your path. It means understanding that your value is not something to be negotiated or debated. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you start living freely. You no longer filter your words, your actions, or your dreams through the lens of others' expectations. You move through life with authenticity, with boldness, with a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken. Not everyone will understand you, not everyone will support you, and that's okay. The ones who matter will respect you, not because you seek their approval, but because you don't need it. So choose yourself. Stand firm in your beliefs, in your values, in your vision. Let go of the need for external validation and embrace the power of self-acceptance, because once you do, you become untouchable, not because you have everyone's approval, but because you no longer require it. 5. Handle criticism. Criticism is inevitable, but how you handle it defines your strength. Most people crumble at the first sign of disapproval. They take every comment to heart, allowing it to shape their self-identity, dictate their actions, and weaken their resolve. But why? Criticism is nothing more than words, opinions, and perspectives that often come from those who don't even understand your journey. The reality is that criticism only has as much power as you give it. When you react emotionally, you let it control you. When you filter it through logic, you remain in control. The strongest individuals don't let criticism shake them. They assess it with a clear mind. Take what's useful and discard the rest. No unnecessary emotion, no overreaction. Just select attention to what truly matters. The key lesson: filter criticism through logic, not emotion. Keep what serves you, ignore what doesn't, and never let someone's opinion disrupt your peace. There are two types of criticism: constructive and destructive. Constructive criticism is valuable. It helps you improve. It comes from people who have experience, knowledge, and a genuine desire to see you grow. This is the type of feedback you should welcome. Destructive criticism, however, is designed to break you down. It often stems from jealousy, insecurity, or lack of understanding. These opinions are meaningless unless you make the mistake of internalizing them. Imagine a sculptor working on a masterpiece. As he chisels away, people stop to watch. Some admire his work, some offer helpful suggestions, and others mock his efforts. Does the sculptor abandon his vision because of a few negative voices? No, he continues, guided by his inner vision, filtering out the noise. This is how you must approach criticism. When someone criticizes you, ask yourself, does this person have the experience or credibility to judge me? If they do, consider their words. If they don't, move on. Not all voices deserve your attention. Most criticism comes from people who have never done what you are doing. Their words are reflections of their own limitations, not yours. Criticism is a test of emotional resilience. Weak-minded individuals react impulsively. They get defensive, argue, or retreat into self-doubt. The strong remain unmoved. They acknowledge criticism, process it, but never let it disrupt their inner peace. When you respond to criticism with calm indifference, you show the world that your confidence is unshakable. Consider the great minds of history, visionaries, creators, and leaders. Every one of them faced relentless criticism. Their ideas were doubted, their decisions questioned, yet they pressed forward, refusing to let outside noise deter them. Their ability to stand firm in the face of doubt is what set them apart. They understood that criticism is often the price of progress. If you want to develop this mindset, practice detachment. The next time someone criticizes you, pause. Don't react immediately. Instead, analyze. Is there value in their words? If yes, learn from it. If not, dismiss it. When you master this habit, you free yourself from the emotional burden of seeking approval. Another powerful approach is self-conveyance. When you truly believe in Your past external opinions lose their grip on you. Confidence comes from within, not from the approval or disapproval of others. The moment you realize this, you become immune to shallow criticism. The world will always have something to say. Some will praise you, others will doubt you, but in the end, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. True power lies in the ability to hear criticism, evaluate it rationally, and move forward without losing focus. So the next time someone criticizes you, remember, it's just noise. Learn from it if necessary, but never let it define you. The strongest people do not fear criticism. They use it wisely, or they ignore it completely. 6. Keep your composure under pressure. Pressure exposes people. Some break, some fold, but the strong, they remain unshaken. Why? Because they prepare their minds before the storm arrives. They understand that pressure is not an anomaly, it is a certainty, and when you expect challenge, Alice, you stop being surprised by them. The secret is to detach from the need for control. Understand this: not everything will go according to plan. People will disappoint you, obstacles will appear, unexpected setbacks will come, but you do not react emotionally, you respond with strategy, with calm calculation. Most people crack under pressure because they resist reality. They expect everything to be smooth, predictable, and within their grasp, and when life proves otherwise, they panic, they complain, they freeze. But those who train themselves to embrace uncertainty, they adapt, they move with the chaos, not against it. Think of a seasoned warrior. He does not enter battle expecting an easy fight. He expects resistance, ambushes, and unforeseen threats, yet he remains composed. Why? Because he has already accepted the reality of conflict. He does not waste energy wishing for ease. Instead, he focuses on execution. You must adopt the same mindset. The world will test you, it will throw stress, failure, and doubt your way, but if you have trained yourself to be composed under pressure, nothing will shake you. While others scramble in panic, you will move with precision. You will not react, you will respond. There is power in mastering control, not over external events, but over yourself. When you no longer need things to go perfectly, you become unstoppable. When you understand that pressure is inevitable, you stop fearing it. Instead, you see it for what it truly is, and an opportunity to refine your composure. Think of the greatest leaders, the most unshakable individuals. They do not flinch in chaos, they do not crumble when things go wrong. Instead, they exude calmness, certainty, and control. This is what makes them stand out. People look at them and wonder, how does nothing faze them? How do they stay so composed while others fall apart? It is because they have trained their minds to expect difficulty. They have rehearsed their reactions before the test even arrives. They understand that emotions cloud judgment, and so they detach from unnecessary feelings. They prioritize logic over panic, and in doing so they maintain an advantage that most will never have to build. This level of control start by shifting your perspective on pressure. See it as a game, a test of your discipline. When faced with stress, challenge yourself to remain composed. Observe your emotions without letting them dictate your action. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Another essential practice is preparation. The strongest individuals do not wait for pressure to arrive, they train for it. Mentally rehearse worst case scenarios. Condition your mind to remain steady under stress. When you do this, nothing catches you off guard. You become a strategist, not a reactor. Most people go through life unprepared, relying on hope rather than discipline. They expect things to work in their favor, and when they don't, they collapse. But those who train their minds for adversity, they do not break, they do not fold, they remain standing unaffected. So the next time pressure builds, remind yourself, this is my test, my moment to prove control. While others panic, you will breathe. While others react, you will calculate, and when the storm passes, you will still be standing untouched, unshaken, unbreakable. 7 said, letting go of what you can't control. Suffering often comes from attachment to outcomes, to expectations, to things outside of our control. We grip tightly to what we think should happen, to how we believe life should unfold, and when reality doesn't align with our desires we feel pain, but true mental strength, it lies in letting go. Picture a river, water flows around. Obstacles never resisting, never fighting. It does not demand that rocks move out of its way, nor does it stop flowing when met with resistance. It adapts. That's how you must approach life. Some things will happen regardless of how much you stress over them. The job offer that never came, the person who walked away, the setback you didn't anticipate. You can either resist and suffer, or you can adapt and move forward. The choice is always yours. Letting go is not about giving up, it is about shifting your focus to what you can control. Clinging to expectations makes you fragile. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of frustration, replaying past events, questioning what could have been different. But when you embrace the reality that some things are beyond your influence, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Think of the strongest people you know. They are not the ones who fight against the inevitable, they are the ones who remain calm in the face of uncertainty. They have mastered detachment, not from life, but from the illusion of control. They understand that life is unpredictable, and that peace comes from flowing with it, not against it. Most people spend their energy trying to force outcomes. They attach their happiness to specific results. If things go as planned, they feel satisfied. If not, they fall apart. This is a weak way to live. Strength comes from being adaptable. When you detach from rigid expectations, you develop a resilience that makes you unstoppable. No event, no disappointment, no setback can break you. The key to letting go is awareness. The next time you find yourself holding on to something too tightly, an outcome, a person, an expectation, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. Do not waste your energy on what you cannot change. Instead, redirect it towards something that moves you forward. Detachment is a skill. It requires practice. Start small. Let go of minor frustrations, the long line at the store, the slow traffic, the unexpected change in plan. Observe how freeing it feels to not react, to not allow external circumstances to dictate your mood. Over time, apply this mindset to bigger challenges. Some may mistake detachment for indifference, but they are not the same. Indifference is apathy, a refusal to engage with life. Detachment, on the other hand, is a deep understanding that while you can participate in life fully, you do not have to be ruled by its uncertainties. You can care deeply about your goals, relationships, and experiences, but you do not have to suffer when things do not go as expected. The moment you choose to let go of what you can't control, you become untouched, able. You walk through life with a sense of peace that others admire but cannot understand. While they are consumed by frustration and disappointment, you remain steady, unshaken. They wonder how you do it, why nothing seems to disturb your composure. The truth, you have simply mastered the art of letting go. So stop resisting, accept what is, adapt to what comes, and above all, remember the strongest minds do not cling. They flow just like the river. They move forward untouched by the obstacles in their path. 8. Silence is the ultimate power move in a world obsessed with noise. Silence is a weapon. Most people talk to fill space, to gain validation, to prove something, but the most powerful individuals, they don't speak unnecessarily. They listen, they observe, they calculate, and when they finally speak, every word carries weight. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to second-guess themselves, to analyze your thoughts, to wonder what you're thinking in a conversation. The one who speaks less holds more control. Words reveal, but silence conceals. When you master the art of silence, you shift power dynamics in your favor. You gain control over conversations, over situations, over how people perceive you. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it with explanations, justifications, unnecessary words. But when you hold back, you force others to reveal themselves. The more they speak, the more they expose their thoughts, their insecurities, their intentions. Meanwhile, you remain a mystery, and in that mystery lies power. Imagine being in a negotiation. The person across from you presents an offer and expects an immediate response, but instead of reacting, you pause. You let silence stretch. The longer you wait, the more unsettled they become, they start second-guessing, they fill the silence with better terms, with compromises, with desperation. Why? Because silence creates tension, and tension creates leverage. The same principle applies in everyday interactions. The next time someone insults you, stay silent. Most people expect a reaction: anger, defense, retaliation. When you give them nothing, they lose power over you. They start wondering if their words had any effect. They start feeling foolish. Your silence forces them to deal with their own emotions rather than feeding off your silence. Is also a tool for observation. When you talk less, you notice more. You see the hesitation in someone's voice, the nervous shift in their posture, the contradiction in their words. Most people miss these cues because they're too busy speaking. But when you master silence, you become a strategist. You gather information while revealing nothing in return. There is a reason the world's most influential figures are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who choose their words with precision. They do not waste energy on meaningless chatter. They understand that speaking less does not mean knowing less. On the contrary, it means knowing more. If you want to cultivate power through silence, start practicing restraint. The next time you're in a conversation, pause before speaking. Observe the room. Listen more than you talk. Let others reveal themselves first. The less you say, the more people will lean in. When you finally speak, another way to harness silence is to embrace it in moments of high emotion. When you're angry, stay silent. When you're insulted, stay silent. When someone demands an immediate response, delay it. The ability to control your speech in intense situations is the ultimate demonstration of discipline, and discipline commands respect. Powerful people are not reactive. They do not let emotions dictate their words. They understand that silence can be a response in itself. A pause can say more than a sentence. A moment of quiet can shift an entire interaction. The next time you're in a situation where someone expects you to react, don't stay silent. Let them wonder. Let them reveal themselves, and watch how the power shifts in your favor. In a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, the one who speaks the least often holds the most influence. Master silence, and you master control. 9. Train yourself to stay calm. No matter what your mind is your battlefield. The thoughts you allow in will determine whether you win or lose. Every doubt, every fear, every hesitation, these are enemies that must be conquered. The strongest individuals are not those who never experience negative thoughts, but those who refuse to be controlled by them. To train an unshakable mind, you must build mental habits: gratitude to counter negativity, discipline to override laziness, detachment to eliminate suffering. Just as the body grows stronger through repeated resistance, the mind becomes resilient through daily training. You cannot expect mental toughness to appear in moments of crisis if you have not conditioned yourself for it. Every day you must train yourself to be unfazed, to pause before reacting, to breathe before responding. Most people are slaves to their emotions, reacting impulsively, acting out of fear, surrendering to frustration. But the ones who control their minds, they control everything. This is how warriors think. This is how leaders operate. They do not allow distractions, disappointments, or insults to shake them. They move through life with a sense of purpose, a deep-rooted calm that others cannot comprehend, and because of this, they become unbreakable. Understand this: mental strength is built in the small, everyday moments. It is in waking up early when you'd rather sleep. It is in choosing to stay silent when you could argue. It is in pushing forward when everything in you wants to quit. The mind, like a muscle, grows through resistance. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen it. One of the most powerful mental habits you can develop is detachment. When you learn to separate yourself from emotions, from outcomes, from external chaos, you gain an advantage over those who are constantly reacting. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means control. It means understanding that you cannot control the world, but you can always control your response to it. Imagine a storm. Most people get caught in the winds, tossed around by circumstances, struggling against forces they cannot control. But those with unshakable minds, they stand still, grounded, letting the storm pass around them. They do not waste energy fighting the uncontrollable, they reserve their strength for what truly matters. Another crucial element of mental training is discipline. The mind will always seek comfort, ease, and the path of least resistance. This is why most people never achieve true strength. They give into distractions, procrastination, and self-doubt, but discipline rewires the mind. When you consistently choose discipline over comfort, you reshape yourself into someone who is unstoppable. Start small, commit to habits that reinforce your mental strength. Meditate to sharpen your focus, exercise to reinforce discipline, read to expand your mind, keep your word to yourself. No matter how small the promise, over time, these small acts build into something powerful, an unshakable mind. The world will test you, people will challenge you, life will throw obstacles in your path, but the moment you master your mind, nothing external can shake you. You will move through life with a level of confidence, control, and power that few ever achieve. And when others ask how you remain so steady, so unbothered, so composed, you will know the answer. You trained for this, you built this, and nothing can take it from you. 10. Mastering the art of moving in silence. Real power moves in silence. It doesn't seek attention, it doesn't need validation, it simply acts, and lets the results speak for themselves. The loudest people in the room are often the weakest. They crave recognition, they announce their intentions, they seek approval, but the strongest, they move quietly, strategically, with precision. If you want to be respected, stop announcing your plans, stop explaining yourself to everyone, just do the work, just make progress. Success is not built through words, it is built through action. The more you talk, the more you invite scrutiny, doubt, and resistance, but when you work in silence, no one sees you coming, and by the time they notice, it's too late. The strongest individuals don't waste energy proving themselves, they let their success do the talking. They don't argue, they don't seek to impress, they don't over-explain, they move with certainty, and that certainty commands respect. The moment you stop looking for validation, you start becoming unstoppable. There's a reason why the most influential figures in history were not the ones constantly talking about their next move. They understood that power is not in promises, it is in execution. They did not explain their vision to those who wouldn't understand, they simply built, created, and dominated in silence. If you want to master this, develop the discipline to keep your ambitions private. Work relentlessly, but do not seek applause. Let people wonder about your next move, let them question how you stay so composed, so unfazed. The less they know, the more control you have. Silence is not passive, it is strategy. It forces people to fill in the gaps, to speculate, to overthink, and in that uncertainty you gain power. When you do speak, your words carry weight. People listen, not because you demand attention, but because they know you don't waste words. In a world where everyone is desperate to be noticed, be the one who doesn't seek recognition. While others chase attention, you chase mastery. While they focus on appearing successful, you focus on actually becoming successful. This is the difference between those who talk about doing great things and those who actually do them. If you feel the urge to explain your plans, resist it. If you feel the need to prove yourself, hold back. If you want to show the world your progress, let your results do it for you. The moment you stop feeding external validation, you'll notice something. People will start paying attention. They will wonder how you did it. They will question how nothing ever seems to bother you, and that's when you'll know you've truly mastered the game, not because you told the world, but because you showed it without saying a word.